What's up, fans of MTG Burgeoning? It's Thursday, so it's EDH Commander Thursday, and in today's video, we are going to have another episode of our Partner Quick Take series. Hello, welcome back, fans of MTG Burgeoning. Welcome back, fans of EDH Commander Thursdays. Yes, that's right, folks. We are here on another Thursday, and in today's video, we are going to roll out with episode number 3 of our Partner Quick Take series. And if you missed either of the previous 2 episodes, well, of course, you can click the links in the description below, and it'll bring you right up to speed. As a quick review of what this series is, we started off with 1 copy of all 56 legendary creatures with the partner mechanic. And in the first 2 videos, similar to the video you'll see today, we put out 4 random pairings, 2 partners each, of course. This isn't a trio, this is just a partner. 4 2-partner pairs, and then we flip each pair over and we give initial thoughts, ideas, plans as to how a commander deck would be built utilizing those 2 partners. Everything is completely randomized. There is no use of any outside websites. This is just 100% pure burgeoning. Now that we've shuffled up the partners that we have yet to use, of course, the 16 that have already been used are not included in this pile. So here we go. There's our 4 piles. All right, here we go. Burgeoning fans, pile number 1. Partner 1 is Tormod the Desecrator. 3 and a black with a 4/2 body. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. All right, and Tormod is going to be paired with Sengir the Dark Baron. So we're going mono black, baby. 4/4 flyer. Whenever another creature dies, put 2+1/+1 counters on Sengir the Dark Baron. Whenever another player loses the game, you gain life equal to that player's life total as the turn began. All right, so we've got straight black. I don't really think there's any other way to do this but to go straight Reanimator. We're going to have Sacrifice Outlets. We're going to have some nice, cheap, most likely zombies. Turn this into a zombie tribal. Some cards that I'm thinking of right now. What is that? Grave Crawler? Is that what the guy's name is? If he's in your graveyard, you can cast him if you have control of zombie. Then there's the Bloodghast with the landfall mechanic that whenever you play land, you get him out of your graveyard into play. And the best thing about Tormod is it doesn't have to go into the graveyard, so we can have cards go from graveyard to our hand, graveyard to library, graveyard to exile. One of the safest ways to get some creatures, it doesn't even have to be creatures, they can just be cards too. So I think we can put in a copy of Phyrexian Reclamation, which is an enchantment. I think it's 1 black, and then you tap, I think it's 1 and a black, pay 2 life, and then you return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And then I think we can also include some spells that will exile cards from our library. And we want to make sure that we can do that during other turns too, because it says whenever 1 or more cards leave, so it's not create that many. So if we have 3 cards leave during our turn, we can't really create 3 2/2 tapped black zombie creature tokens. Maybe some additional cards we can add to help this would be some spells with flashback as a way in which to cast them from our graveyard, and then they get exiled. That would be leaving the graveyard. Living Death could be a great card to include in here. We're getting cards out. That's more of a big bang for your buck, as it's only going to result in 1 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature, and if we already had some in our on the battlefield, we're going to lose them. So maybe Living Death isn't the greatest idea. Cellar Door could be a good addition to help create more tokens. Those are going to be bats. They do something somewhat similar to what Tormod the Desecrator does. And with Sengir's ability, I think from a sacrifice standpoint, if he's on the battlefield and we have some, non-token creatures in play, we can get some sacrifice outlets in order to give +2, or in order to put 2+1/+1 counters on Sengir, so that this isn't just a straight Tormod deck. We can include a couple of things to help accentuate Sengir the Dark Baron's power toughness, maybe a couple of swamp-specific equipment like Lash Wraith, or what's the other one? Maybe Stratascythe, that could work too. Nightmare Lash, as he's got evasion, so the potential for having a slight Voltron effect for Sengir could be very easy. We're in mono black, so we can just fill the deck with nothing but swamps. This seems like it would be a great place to put the instant hatred into if we've got Sengir in play. And I think that's really what we would do. I mean, make sure we have some sacrifice outlets, maybe a Phyrexian altar, or maybe an altar of dementia we can do to ourselves to really get our graveyard filled with cards. And then just find a bunch of spells that allows us to get a card from our graveyard into our hand, into our library, get it into exile. And then we just swarm our opponents with tons and tons of zombie tokens and the potential for a Sengir Voltron effect. That's how I would go about building this mono black pairing. I think it'll be pretty interesting. Sengir and Tormod. That is pair number 1. Mono black. All right. My favorite color is black. All right, here we go. Pairing number 2, Commander 1 is... Oh, we've got a theme here. Nadir, Agent of the Duskennel? What? Duskennel. I guess we'll go with Duskennel. We'll just go with Nadir from this point on. 5 and a black for a 3/3. Oh, that's not great. Whenever a token we control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir, Agent of the Duskennel. When Nadir leaves the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens equal to its power. Oh boy, okay. 5 and a black. Oh, that is costly. All right, let's see the pair. And we're looking at Kelith, the Sunmane Familiar. We've got a 1/1 horse for 1 and a white. And whenever a commander we control attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. All right, so that's helpful for Nadir, but that 5 and a black, oh boy, that's going to be tough. Okay, so whenever a token we control leaves the battlefield, so I guess what we're looking to do here is Orzhov token aristocrats with some sacrifice outlets and some cards that drain our opponents whenever a creature dies. Any creature that says whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. There's a ton of those in Orzhov colors. I guess that's really the best way to do it, because if we have the tokens coming into play and then we can get Nadir out, and whenever a token is sacrificed, we can put a counter on this, and then when Nadir dies, he can just replenish our tokens. So we want to find a lot of ways in which to use these tokens to our advantage, probably through sacrifice effects. They're all going to be 1/1s. Okay, so, let's just fill it. Let's fill it with spirits. Let's fill it maybe with some zombies. I think we want to maybe lean towards the spirit builds as a way in which to have some evasion, because if we have enough creatures that have flying, we can really gum up the battlefield if our opponents are trying to whittle us down. I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to see this pairing and think that we're going to be too troublesome or problematic at the EDH table. Yeah, I think that's really where I would go with that. I mean, we can't really even do a focused elf build, because I'm not sure there are many, if any, elves in white, or enough to make that worthwhile. No, that's what I would definitely lean towards a token aristocrat build. Yep, that's what I would do. Okay, Kelith and Nadir, Orzhov aristocrats. All right, pair number 3. Pair number 3, Commander 1 is Crom, Ludovic's Opus. 3 blue and a red, a 4/4 flying haster, and whenever an opponent casts his or her second spell each turn, we draw a card. Very nice. Paired with, look at that, another mono black commander. This is mono black day, folks. We have Casket, the Flesh Sculptor. Yep, that sounds like something that Crom would be would be privy to. Okay, so we got a 1/3 Artificer. Tap, sacrifice 3 other artifacts and or creatures. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Oh boy. All right, so we're in Grixis colors. We have a potential medium-priced card draw engine that has flying and haste, so it has evasion and can hit the battlefield running. And then we have an artifact-specific Artificer that will put cards into our hand by sacrificing 3 artifacts and or creatures. Well, I think what we would do here is maybe we take advantage of treasures and take advantage of some clues, because those are some cheap ways to get some artifacts into play. Some cards that come to mind, I don't remember the name of it, of course. It's from Rivals of Ixalan. It's the blue-red enchantment that transforms into a better version of Tolarian Academy. That could be included to help create treasure tokens. Whenever we have creatures attack, we put a treasure token into play. We can include ongoing investigation that helps to create clues. And then we just flood the board with some clues and with some artifact tokens. And I think we get to include some kind of cheap costed creatures here, because we're going to be sacrificing 3 other artifacts and or creatures. Look at the top 3 cards of our library. Put 2 of them into our hand, 1 into the graveyard. That's going to fill our hand. So we probably want to include, I don't know, we could probably go pirates here. I mean, we don't have a pirate commander, but we're in the colors of pirates, and they deal with a lot of treasure tokens too. So we could say with our human artificer and our zombie horror, they're acting as a cover for our pirate tribe that's going to run around the battlefield, fly around the battlefield, swim around the battlefield, creating all kinds of treasure tokens that we can use with Casket to either take advantage of its graveyard filling ability or just to get some more cards into our hand. And Crom's out there flying around, and whenever an opponent's casting their second spell each turn, we're drawing a card. And this is EDH Commander, so, you know, that's probably going to happen pretty regularly. So if we can get him into play early in the game, interesting. Yeah, I think a pirate artifact theme might be the best way to go, because we can take advantage of Casket's ability a lot easier by just sacrificing some treasures or some clue tokens. And then we have the ability to attack with multiple, you know, not mana intensive creatures like Pirate Tribe, which can trigger the ongoing investigation, which could also trigger the enchantment that I can't remember its name from Rivals of Ixalan. I play with it too, and I can't even remember what it's called. Yep. We'll go Grixis Pirates here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, because the last 2 have been, actually, if we look at all 3, these have been some challenging pairings. I think the first 2 episodes have gone a lot more smoothly because they kind of, in some ways, build themselves, but not so much this, especially these last 2. They've been a bit of a challenge. But I would definitely, I think a Grixis Pirate build focusing on the tribe and some treasure tokens with some clue tokens might be the best way to go. All right, here we go. Our 4th and final pair. Commander 1 of this pair is Sidar Kondo of Jamuura. All right, our first Selesnya, our first green. Welcome, green. Got a 2/5 human knight with flanking. Now, for anybody who doesn't know flanking, that is a way back in the day mechanic. Whenever a creature without flanking blocks a creature with flanking, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Creatures our opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. All right, so our opponents need to have creatures with flying, which, I mean, it's not super popular. It's not super unpopular either. The reach part is a little less popular, so maybe we can start, initially thinking, let's get a bunch of creatures that our opponents cannot block with power 2 or less, unless they have flying or reach. Paired with, all right, we're going Bant. We have Kydel, Chosen of Kruphix. So human wizard, we got a 2/3. We tap her to add a colorless mana to our mana pool for each card we've drawn this turn. So we've got 2 commanders, both CMC4, both humans, both from Commander 2016. All right, so I think there is a way we can squeeze in a Bant human build, particularly if we fill the deck with humans that have power 2 or less. And then we can just death by 1,000 cuts our opponents, because if they have power 2 or less, and there are many, many humans that have power 2 or less, and only way they can be blocked is if our creatures don't have flying. Wait a second, creatures your opponents without flying or reach. So our opponents need flying or reach to block our creatures. And I mean, flying creatures in a dedicated flying deck could be a problem. Experientially, that's the minority. There's a lot more ground-dwelling beasts and creatures that are lumbering around the battlefield than there are those that are flying. So we could look at a Bant human build with a bunch of ways to get cheaply costed humans out onto the battlefield. We probably want to stray away from any pump abilities that are going to make the power more than 2. So we don't want to include coat of arms or any anthem effects. I think we just want to kind of chip away until we get to the point where we can just win through a death of 1,000 cuts. I think it would be good to include maybe some spells that can create human tokens or human creature tokens, or other spells that can do that as well. And for the blue part of that, we can also include some cantrip spells, because this is Commander. We're gonna need to fill our hand a bunch, particularly because if all of our creature spells are going to be, they're going to have very cheap mana costs, we're going to go through our hand pretty quickly. So we want to put a bunch of card draw spells in here that we can use to activate Kydel and get a bunch of colorless mana into our mana pool. We could also think to include some combat tricks. Now, one of the cards that come to mind that we could include is, oh man, I can't remember the name of the card. It's a Simic card. It's an instant, and creatures you control power and toughness. The base power toughness is XX until end of turn. It's X and then the hybrid Simic ×2, and I can't remember the name of the card. So we could include that as a finisher. We could attack, and after blocks are made before combat damage, cast that spell, wipe out our opponents, and include other spells like that that are acting as instants, like Return of the Wild Speaker, giving our guys +3/+3 at instant speed, which we can cast after blockers have been declared, but before damage has been dealt. That way we can kind of speed up the process from 1,000 cuts to maybe 500 or 600. Bant humans. I think so. Let's do it. Why not? We've got Grixis pirates. Let's do some Bant humans. And that is episode 3 of Partner Quick Takes. Let me know in the comment section below which of these partner pairings was your favorite. Also, let me know which of these partner pairs you would build and how you would go about building it. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.